Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan. Welcome to this DPCD update. We are back with our Director of our Community Development, excuse me, our Planning and Community Development Department, Claire Ricker. Claire, thanks for joining us, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. It's always my pleasure.
Yeah, you're not quite there yet. None of us are quite there yet, but let's go ahead and anticipate holidays coming up for sure, and I hope that you enjoy yours. For today, as always, lots to cover. We are going to hear about the new Bikeway wayfinding along the Minuteman Bikeway. CDBG applications, which you have mentioned before, are now open, and so an upcoming information session for prospective applicants, we'll hear about that as well. There's also an upcoming redevelopment board meeting where residents can vet their zoning warrant article ideas. I think you might get one or two of those. We'll see. And of course, the Sustainable Landscaping Handbook that we'll hear about. But let us begin by talking about the Park Avenue Safety Improvement Project and an update on that.
Sure, fantastic. So the impetus of this project is driven really by heightened community concerns for safety, as well as the really unfortunate pedestrian crashes that have taken place at the intersection of Park Ave, Paul Revere Road, and Wollaston Ave in late 2023. But DPCD will be managing the Park Avenue Safety Improvement Project, which will design safety improvements for 3 key intersections along the Park Avenue corridor, including at Paul Revere Road and Wollaston Street, Park Ave at Appleton Street, and then Park Ave at Oakland Street. And we're looking to design permanent improvements that will be part of this project, and they include curb extensions, pavement markings, pedestrian refuge islands, rectangular rapid flashing beacons, which are those lights that blink as you go through crosswalk in various places in town, and other safety modifications. Public input, will be seeking public input in mid-spring 2025 after some conceptual design work has been done. And the hope is to start construction within the 2025 construction season, but that schedule is subject to change, and of course depends on availability of funding. And I just want to note that preparing these designs in advance, doing this design work, really better positions the town to pursue these external funding sources for construction. Generally, to get these construction funds, we really need to have our design documents completed and up to date. So this is just a really great opportunity for us to take a look at that Park Ave corridor with all the concerns of the public.
One thing that largely often goes unrecognized is just the fact that, again, our planning department is really good at planning, by which I mean you've just made that connection between the fact that having these designs and having your house in order makes it easier to get the money that we are also constantly talking about on these updates that Arlington is getting. So well done, and keep it up. I would also say that I'm sure you're aware, of course, Park Ave is and the Park Ave Safety Improvement Project is a very important one, and I think we all notice, especially in this month of November and December, as the light just fades day to day, just how potentially dangerous it is. Yes. Just these dark areas of our major streets. So really appreciate the fact that work is going on there, and I imagine that again you'll be continuing to look at other parts of town in which such improvements also need to be made.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to the Bikeway, and I think it's interesting, again, that we are here in December talking about something related to the Bikeway. Years and years ago, I will say, we wouldn't have, because the Bikeway would just disappear from people's consciousness for a while, but it remains open and used throughout the winter months, so it seems always relevant to bring new information about the Bikeway to the public. Can you tell us what's going on here?
Sure, I can. So in 2022, Arlington, Lexington, and Bedford were awarded a grant jointly from the Middlesex 3 Coalition for the design and installation of a cohesive wayfinding signage system along the Minuteman Bikeway from Bedford Depot to Arlington Heights. And we were very fortunate. The Arlington Chamber of Commerce provided supplemental funding to extend the project through Arlington Center to East Arlington and then the Cambridge border. 19 of the 22 signs have been installed so far. We have plans for 3 additional kiosks to be installed in the next construction season. We'll have to pour concrete pads to install these kiosks, but they will be installed between Arlington Center and Arlington Heights next year.
That's great. That is great. Okay, so what about CDBG applications? Year 51, is that right?
That's right.
Tell us about the applications being open.
Sure, absolutely. So the CDBG application for program year 2025-2026 has been released. Completed applications are due by Monday, January the 13th. A virtual listening and information session will be held on Thursday, December 19th at 6 p.m. This meeting is for prospective applicants with questions about the application process and for community members to provide input regarding CDBG priorities for Arlington in 2025-2026. Please submit any questions pertaining to a specific project eligibility in advance to Mary Mazinski, who's our CDBG administrator. And then for more information and to register in advance for the listening session, please visit arlingtonma.gov/CDBG.
Great. And I think that I'm realizing we just referred to CDBG multiple times. And I think anybody watching the DPCD update who knows what DPCD is probably knows what CDBG is, but that is a community development block grant. A lot gets done in town through these grants. So that's what we've been talking about. Moving on, there's an ARB meeting coming up that's got a specific agenda.
That's right. So generally at their second meeting in December, the Arlington Redevelopment Board discusses potential zoning warrant articles that are to be submitted from residents. This year's no different. So if you are thinking about a zoning warrant article that you might like to submit this year, the warrant is open right now. This is a great opportunity to get really valuable feedback from the ARB related to your potential zoning warrant article. So their next meeting is December 16th at 7:30 p.m. in person in the community center in the main room at 27 Maple Street. And we really do encourage folks who have ideas for these articles to please come to the meeting so they can talk it over with the experts.
Thank you very much on that. And last official topic for today is the Sustainable Landscape Handbook.
Yeah, this is such a great project. So this winter, you can plan your sustainable garden with help from the award-winning Sustainable Landscape Handbook. Again, this is a collaboration with Winchester, Stoneham, and Arlington. We developed the Sustainable Landscape Handbook to provide best practices for sustainable landscaping. And I mentioned in our last episode that the handbook was recognized by the American Planning Association Massachusetts chapter and received a 2024 award for planning project of unusually high merit. So again, kudos to David Morgan, our environmental planner, for his work on this project and for the recognition from ACMi. You can learn more about the Sustainable Landscape Handbook and download it from the town's website.
Great, thank you. And Claire, this is, as far as I know, our last update for calendar year 2024. If you have anything you wanted to add in, please do.
Oh, not much, just to say thank you for such a busy and productive year. It's always just honestly, it's such a joy to work in this community with the spirit of volunteerism and the amount of work that these folks get done. It's truly impressive and remarkable. So again, thank you for a great 2024, and we'll be, I'm sure, even busier in 2025.
I'll bet. We thank you. Claire Ricker is the director of our Department of Planning and Community Development. For this DPCD update, she gives us her time and good information. You give us your time as well. We appreciate her informing, and we appreciate you being here to be informed. Have a great end of the year, and we will see you in 2025. My name is James Milan. This is the DPCD update. We'll see you next year.